How's it going? Welcome to my video. Okay, so we're talking about an issue that's probably like a week in the making. So like last week, my car was vibrating kind of funny. Like I drive my car every day, so I kind of know like the feel of it, and I noticed that it was subtle, very, very, very subtle. Like the engine was probably making a little bit more noise than usual, or vibrating a little bit more than usual. So I thought maybe it was the fan that was a little bit too loud. I turned off the fan. It was like it's a very, very, very subtle difference. I didn't think much of it, but yesterday, while I was driving on the road, what happened was, my car started every time the engine would come on, it would start stuttering. It would start shaking. Originally, I did not think it was a misfire. What was going through my mind was, I didn't know what it was. I was hoping it wasn't any part of the transmission that was the component of causing that. And funny enough, I did not get a check engine light, did not get a check engine light, did not get a blinking check engine light, did not get a check engine light. And I drove it for maybe I pulled into a parking lot, I checked the oil, it was kind of dark, I checked the oil was clean, it was, it was to the fill mark. So I was like, okay, glad it wasn't because maybe I didn't tighten something up when I changed the oil maybe a month ago and all the oil went out. Um, so Anyway, so I drove it a little bit more out of the parking lot after I parked in, and I noticed my check engine light came on. And then when I looked at the check engine light, I noticed that, uh, I noticed that. Okay, so I put on my OBD2 and did not think it was a misfire. Did not think it was a misfire at all. Three codes came up, and now I don't know if it's going to show up with this right now, but the codes, there was this is a P0300 code for engine misfire, 3 5, but it was 3 5 and 1. Actually 3 5 and 1. I don't know why 1 is not shown up. 3 and 5, it's shown as misfire in 3 and 5. Now I was thinking to myself, I don't think that it is the spark plugs, the coils. At least I hope it's not the spark plug coils, because I mean it's under the air intake manifold. I gotta go and take the air intake manifold off, and then I gotta swap it out and see if it makes a difference. Like that's just. But I mean, I changed that out like 10,000 miles ago. I am hoping that it's not either the spark plugs or the. I'm hoping it's not the spark plugs, but or the coils. But I went online, read up on some stuff about 1, 3, and 5 cylinders. 1, 3, and 5. It says 3 and 5, but I believe it was 1, 3, and 5. And looked into it, and apparently VVT issues. Maybe the VVT is malfunctioning or something like that. This car has like 291,000 miles on it. I don't know if it's the VVT or not, but I think it's probably the easiest to get to. It was dark last night. I wasn't able to see too much of it. And when I pulled out, I noticed that there was a little bit of a wetness on the floor, a little bit of a spot of wetness on the floor of the ground. So I checked it out, and it wasn't oil or anything. Like, it was like water. And I don't think it's got anything to do with the an oil issue or something like that. But this car does have 291,000 miles on it, like I said. And I'm gonna swap out the VVT. I'm not getting a code for the VVT. I'm not getting a code for the VVT. I've driven this car with misfires before, and it's driven worse than what's driven now. But I think the misfires that I had before was like random misfires all over the place. This is on 2 cylinders. I was still able to drive it home and then drive it to AutoZone. I'm gonna swap out the VVTs and see how that works. But here's the thing about it. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that it's the VVT and it's nothing that I need to go into. Um, you know, I you know, 291,000 miles probably has the same VVTs anyway, so might as well swap it out just to see if it actually corrects the situation. I don't think it's a vacuum leak. Now I did swap out the catalytic converter, which is the lower, which is, you know, part of the lower air intake, but I don't think that's gonna cause this kind of misfire. Now, I might just, you know, I might just check a vacuum leak, check to see whether there's a vacuum leak anywhere. But I don't think so, because, you know, when I did the spark plugs last time, I put gasket maker on every single component that had to be bolted and connected. I highly doubt that there's any kind of vacuum leak coming from those components, maybe from some of the hoses. I'm not sure. It was